Hello.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I am Vivian.
And this is
A Daily Choice.
A Daily Choice. This is episode 3, right? So I think we're gonna, following the format that we kind of came up with last week, we thought we would touch on something that somebody said.
Yeah.
Some comments from our YouTube channel.
Yes. Yeah, we want to thank you for all your feedback.
It's been great.
Really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want to read a little bit of one. It said, unconditional love for me is a myth. Love itself is a condition that causes us to aspire to love another person. So that actually made me think quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we're going to go into that because we can just talk about it
we would talk about that for a week.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about how we met. What?
Yeah, well, we're not going to comment back though.
Oh, you can comment because I already did.
You did?
Yeah, but you can say whatever you think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought the comment about unconditional love being a myth. What do I think about that? Well, I mean, I understand. I totally I can relate to that statement because, like I said last week, for me, it's not, and I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a myth, but I would say it's possibly unobtainable. Really,
mm-hmm.
I mean,
right. That's what you said.
Yeah. For me, it's just about. Like I said, you can aspire for unconditional love, and I think there are moments when you probably feel it, but it's fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, keep aspiring, everybody.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I would say, go for it.
Yeah. So the topic today is going to be a little bit of how we met.
Yeah, because people are asking.
Well, and people want to know who the hell are you people?
Yeah, and we have a bit of an interesting story.
Go ahead.
So, so how we met. I was 27 years old, right? 26, 27. 27 years old. 27. Oh my God. I was 27 years old, and I was at an interesting point in my life. I had been in a long-term relationship that was quite dysfunctional. Let me put it that way. And we can talk about dysfunctional relationships some other time. I was dysfunctional, and so that had come to an end, thank goodness. And also, but it was odd. Well, it was interesting, I guess, at that point in my life. That happened. I quit my job. I was an engineer at the Boeing company, which it's a great job. But I quit my job and I sold my house. Moved into an apartment with my 2 cats, and I guess it was almost like a complete reset time for me. I had totally just changed basically everything about my life, and it wasn't. I don't remember thinking about it. I just did it. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting, in and of itself. So anyway, it was summertime, and one of my best friends and a couple of buddies from work, let me back up. One of my best friends and I were going to take the summer and go to Europe and do the rail pass, the railway, the rail tour of Europe.
Eurorail.
Eurorail, yeah.
Eurorail. Yeah.
you're real. So anyway, we were going to do that, but before we did that, we thought, we live in the Northwest and we're pasty and everything, and summer just started, and so it was like, well, let's go to Mexico, for a couple weeks. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, because I'd never,
tanned?
yeah, you wanted to get tan and awesome looking, and so we went to Mexico for 10 days, and the plan was for my friend and I to go to Mexico, and then with these other two friends, and then my friend and I would go from after that to Europe for a couple months, basically, and take sort of a sabbatical. We went to Cancun, which I had never been. I'd been to the west side of Mexico before. I grew up in Southern California, so I had done road trips and stuff as a young person. Tijuana and those areas, which really it's not really Mexico, but
I mean, it is.
It is, but it's a different type of Mexico, right. I guess. So we were going to go into Cancun, and I had never been there, so I was super excited. And so we fly into Cancun, and we're hungry, right? So we go and we find this. We're wandering around, and remember, this was 27. This was
25 years
25 years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus.
25 years
ago.
1992.
So 25 years ago, Cancun wasn't, what it is now. It was really pretty small. It was, compared to what it is now. And you could still find sort of cheesy little, I guess you can still find it, but back then you could just wander down the street and find, some little taco stand to eat at or whatever, which really is kind of hard to do now in Cancun, in the hotels that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're wandering around looking for some place to eat quickly, and we run into this guy, and he's actually an American guy, and this guy was hilarious. He's like, hey, you guys hungry? And we're like, yeah, we're starving. And they go, well, I got your tacos, I got your enchiladas, I got your burritos, I got your tostadas. He was like rattling off all this stuff, and we're just like looking at each other going, yeah, whatever. Okay, so we walk in there, ate the most awful Mexican food I think I might have ever had. It was horrible.
Did it actually taste bad?
Oh yeah, it was super greasy.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was really low quality stuff.
Oh.
But it was, I'm not... And this was even before I knew what actual real Mexican food was. I kind of knew, but this was before we met. So, so we eat, and then I'm walking back to the hotel. We're all walking back to the hotel, and we pass by
Hard Rock Cafe.
Thank you. I went blank for a second. Hard Rock Cafe, and my buddies are like, hey, let's go in there and have a couple beers. And I'm like, I don't know why, but I was tired, and I just wasn't ready to start partying yet, for some reason. I was just like, hey, I just kind of want to go back to the hotel and rest, get some sleep, kick back for a little while, and then we'll start tomorrow, or I'll start tomorrow with the whole, party in Cancun thing. And they're like, oh, come on, just a couple beers. And I'm like, fine, whatever, I'll go in and have a couple beers. So we walk in, and it's kind of crowded. There was a lot of people in there.
Yeah, that's correct.
But in fact, I guess there wasn't really any place to sit. So we walk in, and I literally, it's like, okay, I'm going to go look for some place to sit, or hopefully we can find a table or something. And they're like, yeah, cool. So I walk in, hang a right, and I walk around. The bar was kind of a big square, and the bartenders were in the middle.
In the middle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I literally walk around like 3 sides of the square, and as soon as I came around the second corner, I was like, I saw you.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing. So in the last episode I said, good to strive for unconditional love. I do truly believe in love at first sight. I think when you meet...
But did you think about that before we met, though?
I don't think I put much thought into it.
I've never thought about it before. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, it was sort of no.
No. Okay.
So I was like, holy shit, that is good. And so so I walk around the corner and I see you, and then as it happened, there was a table just opening up right there, kind of in the corner of the bar, where in line of sight of you and your friends.
Yeah.
So we ended up kind of parking there, and I'm like, hey guys, come over. And so me and my buddies are parked there. And this was kind of early. It was actually still light out when we got there.
Yeah. It was around like 6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 6:30 or so.
Yeah.
So I walk around the corner and I see Vivian, and I'm just like, wow, and I thought that she was beautiful, and I don't know, I already felt like I'm gonna talk to this girl at some point tonight. But yeah.
So for me, I am from Mexico, from the state of Tabasco, from the capital of Villahermosa.
Oh, hold on. I guess I didn't mention where I was. I did say I was from California, but I'm from Huntington Beach, basically, California. That's where I grew up, that area down in Southern California. So hopefully you know kind of where that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, yours is unique.
Yeah, so I'm from South Mexico, and two of my best friends were planning a trip to Cancun just for a week, just to chill. I was working and I was going to college at the same time. So I was like, sure, let's go. I had broken up with somebody like 3 weeks or a month before that trip. So I was like, I'm going, but I just don't, it's just gonna be chilling. I did say that. I do not want to be like, dating or nothing. Is like, so, no guys, please.
That's exactly the same thing I said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think you told me.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't, but now that you're saying this, it's bringing back these memories. So I actually, for my best friend and I, when we were going to go to Europe, I mean, the whole thing was about getting away from all of the bullshit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was so sick and tired of the dating crap and the bar scene and all that. I mean, that's kind of why I didn't want to go in the bar when we first got there. I was like, look, I went down there to get away from it.
Right.
And here we are going into it again. Mm-hmm. I thought, I was just like, oh, no, it's not what I want. But that was exactly what was going through my mind as well.
Yeah. So I said, that's it. No, just like tanning and just going dancing because I love dancing. So we're going to the club. Anyway, so it was our last day that night. It was our last night, I should say. We were leaving in the morning, early. So we were actually like still wearing our bikinis and stuff. And we had been there for a while, actually, at the Hard Rock, like a couple of hours. And so we were like, okay, this is the other days we didn't really drink. But because it was the last day, okay, let's just drink. So we were, drinking tequila and all that. And one of my friends was like going around the Hard Rock, just checking guys and stuff. And she came to me and then, she was like, there's this guy that just came in. And he's really cute. You gotta check him out. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Okay. And then, she was like, just look, he's gonna be turning, the corner in any minute. And sure enough, I just look and there he was. And he gave me the cutest smile ever.
I did.
Yes, you did. And
no.
Yes. And I was like, OMG. I was like, whoa. this is just. But it was a weird scene. But because I saw you, and it was like, I swear, like it was like the time slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like a slow motion almost. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, everything in the room sort of faded.
Yeah. It was just
like
bizarre.
It
was
cheesy
bizarre.
movie.
It was, yeah, I'm cheesy, but well, I wasn't that cheesy back then.
Yeah.
I'm more cheesy now. But yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's. Oh, then I said, okay, it's our last night, and I was like, he's gonna come. I told them he's going to come, and they were like, yeah, whatever. And 2 hours went by. Oh, and so we were like, just like looking at each other, like kind of flirting, if that's where you went, which is weird because I was not that type of flirting with guys. Never, ever. Oh, and back up. Remember, because I'm from, Tabasco. We always used to go in vacation to Cancun and Cozumel and all that. And I didn't like Americans. I couldn't stand them.
Gringos.
The gringos. It was like, no. So I was always like, no English. No English. No. And I kind of knew I knew English. Yeah, I knew English. So I was like, oh, anyway. And here he was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it.
But did you know I was American?
Of course I did.
How?
Because of your friends. He didn't look American per se, but the other ones did. I'm like, excuse me. I mean, you were so incredible. Well, you are still. So hot. So we were like flirting, and I'm like, oh, of course I was a little bit, drunk by that time too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like my last night. Here he is gorgeous. I'm like, he's coming.
I had to catch up. So actually, it took 2 hours for me to get up the nerve, which was also weird.
I know.
To go talk to her and her friends.
Yeah, and that's where 2 hours went by, and I was like, okay, I give up. That's it. He's not coming. And I swear, I said that, and 3 minutes later, and I'm talking to my friends, and they're looking his way, and they're like, he's coming. He's coming. And I'm like, no.
I've been, so I like tequila a lot. It's one of my favorite things. And not like shots. I mean, by this time I had discovered that you get really good tequila, high quality stuff, and you just drink it. Like at the time it was on the rocks or whatever. You're not in a margarita because you don't want to waste good tequila. But I was just drinking tequila, and then so I bought. Was it just you? Did I just buy two? I don't remember.
He's coming with 2 tequilas, right? But my rule was like, my dad always said, never take any alcohol from any guy, period. So he's coming, and he says that it was one for you and one for your friend. Yeah. And I said, well, I don't take, drinks from guys. So I guess I'll drink it if you drink it with me. Remember?
Yeah, right.
So and that's it. That we did it. Yeah.
And I actually at this time, so I didn't know that she was from Mexico, actually.
Which that's so hard to believe.
Yeah. No, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together at this point.
Well, of course, I know, and you know why too? Because my friends, one is blonde, blue eyes, and then the other one it's like like light brown with green eyes. So, but I was like the dark one.
Well, because you've been in the sun.
Well, I was in the sun. Yeah. But
actually burnt.
I was burnt, literally. I'm going to post the picture anyway so you can see it.
Yeah. I mean, like toasted.
That was bad.
That's another interesting thing, right? I mean, you were cooked, and it didn't matter.
I know. I know. Well, our youngest saw that picture, one of the first pictures. I think it was the first picture, maybe, that we took together. And he looked at the picture and he goes, "What the? Why did Papi? Huh? You were burnt." I mean, it looked like in the picture, it looks like I have some kind of skin disease. Really. Yeah.
Peeling quite badly.
Yeah, it was bad.
But it was the Senior Frogs T-shirt that got me.
Oh! Oh. But yeah, I think we should just leave it here because...
Well, yeah. So, I mean, it goes on. So, but just so this is kind of a cliffhanger a little bit. So just we'll leave it at this. So I walk up with a couple of tequilas. She says, "I'll drink one if you have one." So we have our first shot. We start chatting, and actually, it was quite easy. I mean, there was no like stumbling around. It was really weird. We were talking, and that's the other thing too, is her English was really good. I mean,
I was drunk by that.
And I was, and her English was really good and stuff. So I still really didn't know until you told me later. And I was like, holy shit. But yeah, so now we're sitting at the bar together, chatting, having the more tequilas. And many more.
Lots.
And so we'll just stop now. Yes. And it actually gets, I think, even more interesting.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So the valuable note.
Valuable note.
What do you think? Yours is?
Well, I think at this point in time, my valuable note would be great things happen when you're open to it. And at this point for me, I had completely changed several keystone things in my life. If you think about it, house, job, relationship, changed it all. Basically just let it go. And then I went into this new situation, a place I'd never been and I was not looking for anything. I just wanted to be me. And I gotta say, I remember it being one of the most, I won't say happiest times in my life, because I've had many, many happy moments in my life, obviously. But it was definitely the sense of freedom was indescribable. And I think that...
You were not attached to anything.
No, I wasn't. I literally wasn't attached to anything, except maybe my cats. But I even left them home with...
your roommate.
Well, he actually wasn't my roommate yet.
Oh, he wasn't? Oh.
No. Well, that's not true. I moved in with him.
Yeah.
I had my own apartment, and I really didn't want to move in with a roommate just because yuck. But because I knew I was going to be gone for a while, I decided, and Dave, he had lost a roommate, and so he couldn't afford his apartment by himself. And so he's like, dude, just move in here and I'll watch your cats, and you're going to be gone anyway. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. So we did that, which wasn't a bad move, actually. Yeah, so, I mean, everything just kind of fell into place. So anyway, valuable note for me is just be open. Yeah, just be open to possibilities, I guess, without telling yourself that's what you're doing.
I know.
Yeah.
Not so much here, but just here, just be, right? Just your heart. And for me, it's that belief that there's no such a thing as love at first sight. For me, there is, and I tell my children that all the time. Magic is real. That's one of my favorite things. And that was like magic. I think that was like the first time that it was like, holy moly.
Yeah.
Because it was right when I saw him and we locked eyes. And then when I kiss you. That's for the next time.
Yeah.
I kissed you.
You did.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, and see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.